A diversion program gets veterans out of the court system and into treatment. A learning experience on wheels delivers a message about conservation, and a special place for spiritual reflection is brought back to life. These stories and more are coming up next on Tucson City News in Review. Hi, I'm Elaine Mandel, and welcome to Tucson City News in Review. For this show, we're coming to you from the Garden of Gethsemane. The Garden is a little-known pocket park located across the street from the new Sentinel Plaza Apartments on Congress Street, just west of downtown. Inside, you'll be surprised to discover an intimate setting with lush vegetation and religious statuary dating back to 1931. We'll tell you more about this special place in just a moment, but first, here's a story about a city program that helps some returning veterans get past their mistakes in the uphill battle to get their lives back to normal.
We were living in the middle of the desert in Kuwait in 2003, trained for about a month and a half, doing day and night assaults, living in foxholes.
We dropped 2,002,000 pounds of bombs on the Republican Guard.
Within 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, we took over Baghdad. We stayed about a month in Baghdad.
I served in Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm aboard the USS Midway, CB-41.
It took years for William Murray and Richard Sandoval to make the transition from military to civilian life.
I'm diagnosed with PTSD and other disorders.
I was dealing with suicidal thoughts, suicidal attempts.
Last year, over 6,000 service members took their own lives, and it was in large part because of conditions such as traumatic brain injury and depression or a combination thereof. I'll don my basic black dress and go to work.
Thanks to the Regional Municipalities Treatment Veterans Court program, veterans are getting the help they need.
It's a program that's designed to both accommodate your service in the military and to provide you with the transition back to normal civilian life.
What the program does is
afford veterans who've gotten in trouble with the law an opportunity to complete a program of treatment to take advantage of the benefits they've earned by virtue of their service in the military. You come forward, I don't bite. And Ms. Hill advises that you are taking part in treatment at the VA court. So we're going to go ahead and accept you into the program.
The program serves veterans from Tucson, Oro Valley, Marana, South Tucson, and Sahuarita, who have been arrested for misdemeanor crimes like criminal trespassing, drinking in public, and in William Murray's case,
I got arrested for domestic violence, 2 assaults.
So if you can just give me a little bit of insight of where you're at and if there's any issues or concerns we have to address today.
Murray meets regularly with a social worker at the VA or at Old Pueblo Community Services. He is making progress in the 6-month diversion program.
I do have to go to 26 sessions of counseling. I have 17 completed.
Vets are required to remain drug and alcohol free and are not allowed to reoffend. Murray says there are many advantages to being in the program.
I don't have to pay court fines. I don't have to go to jail. I'm able to regain my honor, my integrity.
And just as important,
if they complete the program successfully, the prosecutor dismisses the charges.
Just as they did with Richard Sandoval, who graduated from the Veterans Court program in 2013.
How are we doing this morning?
Good.
Not good? What's up?
Like Murray, Sandoval also showed uncharacteristic behavior once he was discharged.
I ended up catching my first legal case where I was looking at 2 years in prison.
When Sandoval was ready to make serious changes to his lifestyle, the VA was there to help.
And it was nice because I found a mentor. I found other fellow brothers out there in the community that I never would have known that were also combat vets, that were also dealing with the same situations.
After completing his program, Sandoval was hired to do what had helped him in his recovery, mentor other vets.
When that happened, it was amazing because I got to give back to veterans. I got to give back to people, society. I was living, I was learning, and I was actually enjoying life for once. I'm praying for you, bro. Thanks, though. Right now, I'm 29 years old. I just hit 2 years of sobriety. And for 27 years, I hated myself and I hated life. And now I can actually say it's just like, it was worth those 27 years of chaos, just to have these 2 years of sobriety and actually know who Richard Anthony Sandoval is.
Veterans are eligible for the diversion program with an honorable or less than honorable discharge. If they agree to the terms, they are given every opportunity to change their lives for the better.
Good work. You've really done well, Mr. Williams. We're hopeful that we're helping some of these veterans. There's thousands of them.
And that number includes Judge Pollard himself, who spent 5 months and 29 days in Vietnam as a machine gunner in the Marines.
I got drafted out of my second year of law school. It took me probably a good 3 to 4 months to get used to interacting with people again.
It's that first-hand experience that led Pollard to create this program for veterans.
I want to thank the Vets Courts program. I have a tremendous amount of appreciation, and I'm very grateful that there's a Veterans Court program.
Successfully making the transition from war, Richard Sandoval offers Murray and others like him some perspective.
Be open-minded, try new things, because there's going to be something or somebody who's really going to reach you, who's really there for you, and you're just never alone.
Those are the type of success stories that really make this program worthwhile, and it's probably been one of the best things of my legal career. The treatment is there, it's available, they've earned the treatment as a result of their service to the country.
The Garden of Gethsemane is an oasis of plants and trees that contribute to our life-sustaining environment. So how do you communicate the importance of taking care of the earth? Well, here's an idea. You might call it Conservation 101 on wheels.
Ivan, congratulations to your new 2013 Prius. Thank you very much, sir.
Last year, Ivan Malinsky got lucky. He took the National Mayor's Challenge for Water Conservation's My Water Pledge and took away the grand prize, a brand new Toyota Prius.
Okay, thank you very much.
Now, thanks to the Weiland Foundation, the Mayor's Challenge is back, and so is your chance to win big prizes. But to discover the real purpose behind the challenge, take a look inside the MLE, Weiland's Mobile Learning Experience.
Let's go to the connected screen.
The MLE is a traveling interactive exhibit designed to increase awareness around the issues of conservation and recycling. On a return visit to Tucson, the MLE stopped at La Paloma Academy, Lakeside.
What I want you to do is let's clean it up, and I want you to make a path for all the cities and the oceans to get water. So we're going to make a big river. Is water getting to every place, even the ocean? Good, so that's what happens.
Okay, let's rotate.
The exhibit gives students hands-on experiences to learn about water and energy conservation and the importance of reducing pollution.
Whoa. So think about, what do you think the health of the water was when they took this test tube?
Doesn't look like it's good algae because it's not growing that well.
Clearly, these students got the message. Just ask 10-year-old Sabrina Von Cannon.
I learned that pollution can block farmlands, and then the farmland can't get any water and the plants can't grow, and so that's very bad for the environment.
They did great. They loved it. It was actually perfect because 2 weeks ago my class went to the Biosphere 2, and so they got to learn about the water cycle and pollution and all the different ecosystems. So it was perfect because it tied right into it.
The National Mayor's Challenge for Water Conservation runs the entire month of April, so get ready to take the pledge. Visit mywaterpledge.com.
Finally, visitors to the Garden of Gethsemane will notice that the statuary here appears almost new and untouched. Well, you'll see in our last story that hasn't always been the case.
In coordination with Tucson Parks and Recreation, statuary inside the Garden of Gethsemane is now fully restored. At a gathering to celebrate, the air was filled with thanks and appreciation.
But this really takes my breath away, and I'm not just saying that. This is a place where I can now come, where I can bring my family, my children.
The artworks, painstakingly repaired by local artist Greg Schoon, were originally sculpted in 1938 by the late artist Felix Lucero.
As Knights of Columbus and as fellow citizens, there is much we can learn from Felix. We can learn how to be more faithful. We can learn about trust and perseverance. and we can learn about doing the best for God, even when our lives are not in the best of conditions.
To pay for the repairs, a $51,000 grant from the Salvador Foundation of Colorado Springs was secured by the Chief Judge John M. Roll chapter of the Knights of Columbus.
And of course, we all remember Judge Roll, whose name is honored by the council that bear his name. A man of great integrity, a man of great dignity, who had a great love of our city and a desire to be of service.
Well, it's very beautiful. I mean, it just goes with the whole scenery, and it's really kind of a shrine.
West Side resident Raul Ramirez remembers visiting the garden as a young boy.
It's always been real peaceful, and just coming today is sort of a memory of what I experienced before as a youth, and I still find the same tranquility here.
May this garden be an inspiration to all of us to go back into the noise and struggles of our city, to work even harder, to give every human person the dignity and respect they deserve.
That wraps it up for this edition, but before we go, here's a look at Tucson's new streetcar. It's in the testing phase right now, but opens for passenger service later this summer. For Tucson 12, I'm Lane Mandel, and I'll see you next time on Tucson City News in Review.